You guys think that this is fresh or salt water? If it's fresh, why don't we just drink Savalon out of its current predicament? Hello there, friends, and welcome back to more Bravely Default 2. Last time we got a party chat. Last time we arrived here in Savalon and got acquainted with its civilians, its potential threats, looking at the water here, and its, well, partially its royalty, who doesn't really seem to like Seth very much. But you know what? That's okay. He's offered his help for us to try and solve this whole, flooding situation. And in attempts to find the water crystal. This time, we're going to be reading this party chat. The Prince and the Paupers. Crikey, these snacks I bought are good. Couldn't help yourself, huh? You kidding? I can't pass a stall and not buy something. Don't suppose you fancy a skewer, you Prince Castor. They're a credit to your kingdom, I must say. I'd recommend thee. Do not presume to speak to me. We are not friends. Hold on, pal. You were the one who asked to come along with us. I offered to accompany Princess Gloria. The commoners who trail in her wake are of no interest to me. You know, Elvis isn't actually a commoner. His family's kind of a big deal. Ha! The idea that this man is of any consequence at all is laughable. No person of quality would indulge in filthy street foods. And just look at him licking his fingers. Ugh. But you are a noble, right, Elvis? Ha! What does it matter? I'm a connoisseur of tasty treats. That's all you need to know. Now, why don't you just admit that you fancy a nibble, Your Highness? Heaven only knows how they get this coating so crispy. I do not want a nibble, and certainly not of something you have mauled in such a fashion. Now, please do not bother me again. Prince Castor? God, did you not hear what I just said? You're going the wrong way. What? Then why didn't you not tell me so? You're a one, Your Highness. Bro, this is your city. You don't know where you're going? Yeah, Castor's a little rough around the edges, that's for sure. But, hopefully he's gonna be pretty useful. I guess one thing when it comes to temporary party members that I think is a little quirky is that if you open up the menu on the far right here, they have like this little window dedicated to them that like slides in and out whenever you open up the menu. So it's like, alright, so we need to go to the gaming hall. This episode, again, is going to be a lot, mostly focused around investigation, and we might go and visit a dungeon or something, but for right now, we're gonna stick here in the gaming hall.
Whoa. I never expected to see a fountain like that in the middle of the desert.
Me neither. Talk about decadent. Not that I mind a little luxury, but you can have too much of a good thing.
Oh, they spared no expense in decking this place out, that's for sure.
Prince Castor! To what do we owe this inestimable pleasure? Well, might I ask what brings you here, Your Highness?
Princess Gloria was taking a tour of the city. I thought it would be rude not to offer to accompany her.
Ah, the life of a prince is a hard one, is it not? But I am forgetting myself. Allow me to introduce Annie Hale. The rustic charms of her performing menagerie have been entertaining our clientele of late. You will have to forgive her abysmal manners. I found her wandering the wilds, and it seems her upbringing was far from civilized. But tell me, Princess Gloria, how goes the search for the water crystal?
We haven't found it yet, but we will. You can be sure of that.
Oh, I do admire your optimism, but I can't help feeling that you'll never find it, no matter how hard you search. What would it take to convince you that it was not in Savalon, I wonder? An official edict to that effect from the prince, perhaps?
I doubt it. Not that I don't trust His Highness, of course, but I would prefer to confirm it for myself. After all, thieves have a habit of hiding things rather well, don't you find?
Well, then far be it from me to hinder you in your search. But please, do take care. Now, if you'll excuse me.
Well, no offense to our new friend, but I can't help thinking he's got something to hide.
Bernard's story is certainly impressive. He built the gaming hall and earned himself a place on the Council of Elders, and all in the space of a few years. There were certain rumors, of course, but what newly made man is not dogged by the chatterings of the jealous?
All the more reason to suspect him, says I. There's no smoke without fire.
Maybe that minstrel can tell us something. Orpheus, was it?
Couldn't hurt to ask. Is there anything you can tell us about him first, Gloria?
Well, if I were being kind, I might describe him as committed to his craft. If I were feeling less generous, I'd say he was a raving egomaniac.
Remind me not to get on your bad side. But that's good to know. We might be able to use it to our advantage. Let's track him down and see, shall we?
I like how this chapter already does not pull any punches in indicating who is the villain here, and our characters recognizing that immediately as well. There really is no mystery. In terms of what this is all about is, how can we maneuver this strange political wall here? We know that Bernard knows something about the crystal, and he's making it no secret that he wants us out of Savalon. And we've just got to maneuver through whatever he has planned for us in order to find it. Here in the gaming hall, we do have something important for us to grab. It is this treasure chest. 740 peak. Nice, that's all the treasure here in the gaming hall, at least. Yeah, I just like this kind of, like, passive-aggressive... Bernard is just sitting there, he's not even going to talk to us. Like, we're trying to be polite and whatnot, but in the background, we all know that we hate each other. Here in the gaming hall, we have high-stakes gambling, spectacular stage shows, and some of the best food and drink I've ever tasted. This place is heaven itself. Thank goodness I decided to become a traveling merchant, or I'd never have the chance to sample it all. Ah, yeah. There's not really much we can do here in the gaming hall, unfortunately, though we can see kind of like the makings of a Beast performance here, like maybe the Flaming Hoop and Tiger performance. We did have Annie Hall, who looks like she might be a tamer of some kind. I think we actually did see her a little bit in here. Nope, she's gone. Okay, well, that's fine. Alright, well, I guess we will start looking for Orpheus. I mentioned in a previous episode that this game has a lot of musical references and naming themes. Yep, tracks with Orpheus, doesn't it?
It's him.
Orpheus, where are you going?
Whoa! Why are you trying to pin me down? I'm a seeker, man, a poet. I go where the muse takes me. Wherever the wind blows, whenever the spirit moves me, that's my destination, baby.
Uh-huh. So, where are you going?
I'm wasted on you, you know that. Anyway, I don't have to tell you anything. You're impossible. Fine. I'm off to the sand-swept ruins to bring a certain very special story to an end. Go on, go running off to Bernard and tell him like I know you will.
Okay.
Jeez, I know better than anybody that a true artist needs dedicated fans, but why does Bernard keep the kid around? Loyalty's good and everything, but that kind of puppy dog stuff could really cramp a guy's style. Well, look who it is. Oh, she's the tragic princess of a long-lost land, and she cries a river while she stomps the sand. Will her crystal questing ever reach an end, or will she die for duty here without a friend? Ooh, yeah. You gotta love the sad ones. That's a classic in the making and no mistake. Oh, hey, Princess Gloria, I didn't see you there. Listen, I've got a dash, but I'd love to talk to you sometime about what it feels like to lose an entire kingdom. It'd make one heck of a song.
He knew we were here.
He certainly did. And judging by his song, he knows something about the crystals, too.
Do you not get the feeling he's leading us a little by the nose?
So what if he is? No harm in playing along, right? Then, when we get the chance, we turn the tables and squeeze him for everything he knows.
Prince Castor, do you know the place he mentioned?
Yes, the ruins are to the south of the city. I will lead the way.
Alrighty, Castor joining us here. Land ahoy, was Stately Island, a grassy place where pleasant breeze. Oh, man, that's what I get for reading fast. Okay, so yeah, looks like we're gonna be tracking down Orpheus in the Sandswept Ruins. I'm gonna take one last broad look at everything here, just to make sure I don't miss anything. I'm kind of tempted to get this glaive here. That way Seth has a little bit of extra physical attack, but he's also going to be getting... Actually, you know what? Let's actually set aside real quick, and let's use one of these JP orbs that we've gotten from our expeditions. We've got a medium JP orb, which gives us 150 JP. Let's go ahead and use one of those. Job level 3. Inner Alchemy and Bare Knuckle Brawler. Perfect. So, well, I need to equip it first, actually. Let's get rid of Divining Rod, and let's put on Bare Knuckle Brawler. And let's also put on Lunar Power. Yeah, let's go ahead. Actually, I mean, Evasion's not too bad. Well, let's go ahead and put on... No, let's keep Solar Powered on. We're not going to worry about that just right now. Let's get Pain into Gain, and then I guess Adele could also put on Divining Rod, just so we have access to it. There we go. So then Seth now has Bare Knuckle Brawler on, so his attack power is now 85, which is better than what we could have gotten with the spears. Perfect. Now at the Savalon shop, we also have access to way more throwing items. One that is just basic physical damage, which is a stone. But we also have one for each weapon type, and for just for a few element types, just being fire, water, and lightning. We'll get access to the other elements at a later date. If you want to grab those, again, they are AoE and they're pretty strong. And if you feel like you need to sweep enemies pretty fast, I would suggest you grab those. Thankfully, I am blessed and I'm pretty high level and have access to a lot of strong abilities, so I feel pretty confident in what I've got. So, we are now around Savalon. We've got 18 more chests to find. Again, that is not exclusive to only Savalon. There are other places that are included in that chest counter as well. I'm not going to dawdle around too much. These are some new enemies. They're reskins of the guys we fought in Halcyonia. I'm not going to grab them right now. We're just going to head straight into the Sandswept Ruins. So I should probably wait. Actually, you know what? Screw it. We'll go in nighttime.
A great city once stood here, before these lands fell to the sand. War and deforestation laid waste to what was once green and pleasant. So the desert came to be. Our ancestors were foolish indeed. These sun-scorched sands are no place to make a life. If only there were water in abundance. How many times I've dreamed of it.
Prince Castor.
Forgive me. This is neither the time nor the place. We must focus on the task at hand, finding Orpheus.
Well, now you have abundance of water, and look what's done for you. So let's go ahead and remove Solar Powered, since we're not going to get any benefit out of it, and we can go ahead and equip Lunar Powered on Seth and Elpis. There we go. So the Sandswept Ruins. We've got more party chats for us. The Prince's Play. The Sandswept Ruins must be pretty old. They look like they've been out here falling to pieces for a long, long time. They are ancient indeed. One can almost feel the weight of history bearing down upon them. Spectacular performances were once held here, beneath the glow of the setting sun. Yes, I once read that the tragedies in particular were renowned for their power. I commend you, as always, on your breadth of your knowledge, Princess Glory. You really do know a heck of a lot. Oh, not really. I've always been a rather voracious consumer of books, that's all. Sadly, I know no more of the theater than I learned in the library back in Musa. I am ashamed to say that I've never actually seen a play. Is that so, Your Highness? Well then, I shall have to arrange for a local troupe to perform for you at the palace. Thank you, Prince Castor. I should like that very much. But only once all the crystals have been restored to their rightful place. Of course, the crystals continue to be our main priority. Forgive me for diverting your attention from the matter at hand. Aw, no romantic play-watching evening for you, Princey Pants. Romantic? I had no such thing in mind, Your Highness, believe me. Man's getting called out already. Alright, we've got some new enemies here. I've said we've got some new enemies here. Okay, what are they? Diatrema. Okay. Let's go ahead and examine them. 581 HP, weak to lightning and bows. Speaking of the demos for Bravely Default 2 I mentioned earlier, this dungeon is very familiar to people who actually use them, since in all of the demos, this was the dungeon we had access to. So this area is pretty recognizable. Okay, so now we have our first look at Monk. I know it's taken a little bit. Martial Arts, Strong Strike, perform a physical attack on a target that deals heavy damage but a slightly reduced chance of landing. And Inner Alchemy, restore 20% of the user's HP and cure poison, blindness, and slow. This is really good healing button. It's very similar to Freelancer's Treat, except it doesn't restore your own MP. Let's go ahead and try out Strong Strike here. Let's do that. That also is our first ability that I can think of that requires our HP to be used. And it landed, 579 damage. And we crit the other enemy for 244 damage. Pretty good. Strong Strike has a fairly decent high chance of missing, but thankfully with Lunar Powered, our luck is increased just slightly, so hopefully we should be able to land hits a little bit more often. There's 3 more Mini-Ethers. We have quite a few of those now, so our MP shouldn't really be that big of a deal. More new enemies here.
We've got the upper hand.
Ideally, they'll be fleeing from us, so we shouldn't have any too much issues. Restless Souls. Real quick, let's go ahead and change Elvis's rod over to the Mithril Staff. That way he can get the most out of his buck. And let's go ahead and just cast some... actually, we need to figure out what these guys are weak to, don't we? Restless Souls are 559 HP, weak to wind and light. Okay, well, we can't do much with that, unfortunately. So let's go ahead and use Gloria to just body slam these guys. Didn't take them down, unfortunately. So let's use a regular attack here and a crosscut on this one. Okay, half damage, swords and axes. Oh, half damage everything. Holy crap. Well, thankfully, because Seth has no actual weapon, he won't get penalized for this. That's one of the benefits of using bare knuckles. You're technically not a weapon type. You're just basic physical attacks. So unless the enemies have physical damage in and of itself, you will not get penalized for having a weapon out. Got job level 4 there. And that gave us Firebird. Perform a fire-imbued physical attack on a target. Target's resistance to fire is reduced for 2 turns. That's pretty good. You can kind of just spam that and you'll get better rewards for each action you use from it. It's not bad. There's a treasure chest right there that we can't grab just yet. So let's walk around here. We can maneuver through this arch and grab this treasure chest here. Glaive, that's a spear. It's so nice for the civilization that was originally here to leave all of this loot here for us. Antidotes, those cure poison, pretty useful, especially in a desert area where enemies are very often utilizing poison to attack us. There's just another random enemy there. We've already gotten to examine you though, so I'm not going to worry about you just yet. Aha, new one.
Allow me.
Alright, we've got one new enemy here, the Terra Element. Examine you. Castor isn't nearly as useful as a party member as Sir Sloan was. He doesn't carry you. Most of the time, he will just utilize debuff attacks to lower enemies' physical or magic defense. Terra Element is weak to wind and staves. Okay, not really anything too crazy here then. Let's go and see what Body Slam does on this Restless Soul. 1,400 damage and 1,000 damage right there. Okay, so we've seen most of this. Seth found something on the side of the road. Seth, did you? You're 2 places at once, huh? Anyway, let's go ahead and move down here. I think we've seen everything we can on this segment of the dungeon. We can go off to the side here and grab the treasure chest we saw earlier. That's a big guy right there. Clothespin. I think we already have one of these. Yes, we do. That's the sleep immunity. It's not bad. Sleep immunity will come in handy more often than you think. You know what? I'm gonna let you guys listen to this music for a little bit. It's honestly a really, really nice song. We've already heard it before, but I didn't really get a chance to talk about it or showcase it, so I just wanted to do it here. 1100 Peak. I got into a fight earlier. I'll go ahead and cut it in right now. It was against a giant worm. They have a lot of HP, but thankfully we can just body slam them to death. Okay, speaking of another big guy, let's go and see what you are all about.
Here I go.
What are you? You are the... That's a Daidarabochi. I'm gonna go with that. Daidarabochi. Let's go ahead and examine you. 2300 HP. Weak to lightning and swords, though. That's actually quite useful. Let's go and default here. Let's go ahead and try out Firebird. I know you're not weak to it, but let's go ahead and use it. We need 250 HP to be used here. 544 damage. We also get the Lunar Power there, which will give us just a little bit more of an MP recovery if we need that. We do have access to Thunder here, so let's go ahead and use it. 300 damage, that's pretty good. And then we get most of our MP recovered thanks to Lunar Powered. And then let's see how much Crosscut does. Quite a bit of damage. Holy crap. If you were not high level, that definitely hurts quite a bit. Let's go ahead and finish this off with a Body Slam. Or two. Nice, there we go. Almost to job level 6 on White Mage. And Vanguard, holy crap. That enemy did not give as much rewards as I was expecting based on their size and how much HP they have. Though they were guarding a treasure chest with the Mithril Sword. Ooh, okay, we can replace that. We have enough weight for it. We lower our speed a little bit, but we get a huge bump in our damage. And if any enemies are weak to sword, then we definitely want that. More enemies that we've already seen before, so I'm not going to worry about those. I really just want to tackle any enemy that we haven't seen, just so we can examine them and see what happens. I've already been down here, but there is... Oh, hey, these guys are not afraid of us yet. Ooh, that debuff right there is Contagion. It will lower your MP. It'll drain your... It will reduce your MP with every passing turn. It is easily one of the most evil debuffs in the entire game. And these stupid... guys have access to it. So I'm just gonna go ahead and remove them from the field as soon as possible.
Did you see that?
There we go. Good job, level 6, got Aggravate, and I accidentally mashed through the other button. What'd you get? You got Cura, which is a stronger version of Cure. I'll take it. Now, because of how strong our restorative power is right now, which I can actually probably make a little stronger. Yeah, I could. 69, nice. With how strong our restorative power is right now, there really isn't any reason to use Cura, but that's definitely for more of a panic use. 575 damage. The second tier black magic spells, the raw ones, have a very steep cost for this point in the game, but they are quite good. And with Lunar Powered, we can definitely offset some of that high cost with just a little bit of regen. We have Aggravate here, which will increase the likelihood of Adele being the target of attacks, but ideally, Crosscut should be enough for us to come down. No major casualties there. We can walk down here, some enemies we've already seen before. And we've reached our save point, but that's not the only thing here. There is another sandworm, which are indicated by these pits right here. And there's also one of these guys again. I guess I'll go ahead and take him down. Seth got a level up, which is really nice. What is he now? Level 13. So Gloria is left in the dust there. Do we have any EXP orbs, actually? I don't think we do. We do. Small experience orb is 500 EXP, though. That's nuts. That'll put her way above Seth and Elvis. That'll put her much closer to Adele range. You know, we've got 3 of these. Why don't I just try to catch them all up to Adele? 1, 2, 3. There we go. Everyone's level 13 now. Perfect. Adele is much further ahead than all of them by quite a bit. She just started at a much higher level. Nasty surprise emerges from the chest. What is this? Okay, there's just a bunch of regular enemies. Perfect. And what we got is the Gaia Shield. That is a shield blessed with the protection of Earth itself. When equipped, Earth resistance +2. That means that you are completely immune to Earth damage in its entirety. That is really good. Now, you'll get weight +8, HP +280, physical attack +6, physical defense +28. This is really good. But it's also really heavy. Yeah, Gloria can't wear it. I doubt Elvis can. Now, obviously Adele could, and she would have full immunity to Earth. She would also have her speed increase. That's right, because she's dual-wielding right now. Her chance of being targeted would go up. Her aim would go down, though, meaning that she might have a higher chance of missing her attacks. But Earth resistance for full Earth immunity is pretty good. I think I'll keep that in the back burner for right now. I don't feel threatened in terms of the damage we're taking. If you are much lower level than I am, then I would suggest you go ahead and take that. But for right now, let's go ahead and tent up. We want to make sure that we are fit as a fiddle for this. And I think this is a decent stopping point for us. We explored an entire dungeon, and we know exactly who we're here to track down. Next time on Bravely Default 2, we confront Orpheus and see what he knows about Bernard and the Water Crystal. So, with that said, I'll see you soon. VPEG GF6QTY.